Yo, we need to talk about this episode. We need to just rap about what happened in this episode because what just transpired takes precedence over everything that happened in this episode. I mean, it was still some good things here and there, but it was just that one event. It's a big point, and it takes over everything in this episode because, let's get to it. I mean, once again, I knew Corteo's fate was sealed from episode 1. I knew his fate was sealed when Nero ordered to have him killed, and I really knew his fate was sealed when Angelo didn't flinch when this order to have him killed happened. He just went on like he didn't have any feelings at all, even though he really did inside. But, man, for Angelo to be this far in, for Angelo to allow his friend to die this way, someone who put their life to the side, someone who put their life on hold so he can get his revenge, even if it was Nero that made Angelo pull the trigger. And that gives us more reason to want Nero dead now, because it was getting a little bit worrisome, because I really like him as a character, and I still do. He was really charismatic character. He's a nice character. He's the type of person that you want to follow. But him knowing that the bond that Avilio and Angelo had, and for him to have Angelo kill his friend, that was messed up, man. That was really messed up, and Corteo didn't deserve this. We've been saying he didn't deserve this ever since the order for him to die was put out. And the point that Angelo is at right now, he can't come back from this. There's no way that he can crawl back from this. He's too far in right now. Angelo's been completely consumed by his vengeance, and he's even said that to Corteo shortly before this happened. All that he wants is revenge. He puts everything first, even the life of his friend, the last person that he had left for this mission of revenge. And it really isn't going to be a good ending at this point. If Angelo even succeeds in killing Nero, it's going to be some straight up Bebop shit. It's going to be Spike Spiegel, Cowboy Bebop type of ending where they're probably going to have that standoff that we see in the promotional images, and they're both going to shoot at each other, and then we're going to be left with an open type of ending if Angelo lived or not. But you really have to look at things in perspective of where they are right now. Is the best thing that Angelo could do is die. His entire time he's been trying to avenge his family, and now with Corteo going, that's the last remnant of any happiness that he had left. There's no happiness left for him now. The only peace he's going to find is in death. Like, if he doesn't die, he's going to be miserable. I mean, I would think he would be. And there isn't even a path for a happy ending, because at the very least, if Corteo would have lived, then, you know, maybe they could have got out of Lawless. Maybe they could have laid low in another city somewhere, opened up a bar, and had a life there. But now that Corteo's gone, there's no hope for anything like that. The only thing left is for Angelo to die, and I'm pretty sure he wants to die, so in death, he can see his friend again. He can see his family again. And in the end, that's probably why he's okay with doing with what he did. And it still hurt. It's still a very heartfelt sacrifice that Corteo made, because he never wanted this life. But he still did whatever he could to put his friend first, to make sure his friend gets his vengeance, and allowing himself to be killed by saying, you know, if I'm out the way, there's no more suspicion on you. There's nothing else they can use to trace back to you. And I'll see you again in the other side. And this episode wrecked me, man. It was just wild to see Corteo go on that type of sacrifice for Angelo's vengeance. So big rest in peace to him. He is definitely the real MVP of this series. And we're heading towards the end. Again, I don't remember if this is going to be 12 episodes or 13 episodes, but either way, we are at the end of this journey of 91 days. We still got to kill Nero. We still got to kill the Don. So with that being said, let's get down to the breakdown of some of the stuff that happened in this episode, besides the very, very painful and heartfelt death for Corteo. Now, as far as getting back to the letter with Uncle Ganzo and Angelo, just like I pretty much assume, Uncle Ganzo wants to have the family to himself. He wants to be the Don, as he explains to Angelo that he actually sent that letter on the orders of Don Vanetti, you know, Vincent, because it's known that the child got away. So Gonzo was tasked with finding the child no matter what. But he never told Vincent that he knows who the kid is or that he's alive. To Vincent, the kid is dead. It was just left at that. Because, again, he wants to rule himself. He wants the money. He wants the fame. He wants the women. He wants everything that comes with the Don. And now with someone who has so much anger and so much vengeance within to be his weapon to get this done. That's why you have this partnership between Gonzo and Angelo. Angelo, he's one step ahead on this a little bit as well. Because he says, you know what, if anything happens to me, I'm going to let Nero know what happened to that letter. I gave it to someone I trust. Something happens to me, then it's going to be outed that you gave me this letter and it was your plan to send me on this revenge cycle to kill everybody. So he kind of covered his tracks on that. So that was pretty good. But he also leveraged a little bit of himself by saying, I'm not going to help you anymore until you tell me where Corteo is. I want to take him out. I want to get him to safety. Because that's why I was saying deep down, Angelo, you know, he kind of feels bad for what he did. But still, his revenge is over everything else. And then you got the Don on one side who just wants everything to go back the way that he wants. Vincent wants things to go back the way that it was with the Orko family out the way, with Fongo out the way. They can just go back to their partnership with the Galicia family. But Nero's not too keen on that, as he's saying these guys are just going to use us for everything that we're worth and we're basically going to be their grunts. I don't think we should do that. So you got a little bit of contrast between Don and son, or the current Don and former Don there as well. But again, it's hard to talk about this episode without the weight and the importance that Corteo had in this episode as he made the deal to get Corteo to safety. However, Barbaro has also been another big factor in this series, as he's never really trusted Angelo, and he's always in the ear of Nero saying, you know what, you shouldn't trust this guy, and you need to find Corteo because he tried to kill you. So Barbaro decides to use his resources to weed Corteo out, get him back, and then this is where he tries to out Angelo by saying, you two are working together, aren't you? You're trying to plan revenge, and that is why this is all went the way it did. So he kind of pinned Angelo in a corner to this point, and now with everybody looking with the spotlight on Angelo, the pressure's on Nero to kill someone, if not both of these dudes. So something had to be done. So a big part of the episode before this all transpired was Avilio going to Chicago to make the deal with Lawless Heaven for the Galicia family, but he did take Corteo with him so he could hide him out and keep him safe. However, you know things wasn't going to stay that way, as again Corteo was lured back to where they were, and he still put himself first. He was still the MVP in this, as even as he was caught, he took the blame on himself. He said when he was pressured about why he tried to kill Nero, he was like, I did it on my own. I didn't have any manipulation. No one was pulling my strings. I did it because I wanted to get Angelo out of this life. I wanted to get him out of Nero's influence so he won't go down the wrong path. And he even gets a little bit of a shine out of Barbaro as well by saying, this works out for you, right? Because if you kill Angelo, then you won't have anybody to worry about being Nero's second man. That's why you're so mad. So he gets slapped up a little bit for that. But again, him taking all this on himself. And then Nero grabs the gun. And as he's about to shoot Corteo, he gives the gun to Angelo and tells him, you know what, you do it. Forcing him to kill his friend because he couldn't hold it for long. He couldn't hold that stone face that he had for long. I think Nero saw that. So thus he told him, you know, to take out his friends. Everybody leaves the two alone. And at this point, you know, Angelo's a little bit upset. Like, why'd you come back? Why did you come back? And he was like, I heard that you needed help. But the main reason why I came back is because if you get rid of me, then there's no more weakness for you. There's nothing that can be trailed back to you. There's nothing that you have to worry about. You can go down your path and that's all you can have because, you know, after all, you're going on this path of revenge. And I feel that Corteo was saying that you're not going to make it through this. So at least get your revenge first and we'll see each other on the other side. As Angelo pulls the trigger and kills his friend. And it goes back to what I was saying at the top of the video. It's like it's no happy end for Angelo in this series anymore. The only thing that we can hope for now is that he does kill both the Don and Nero And the best that can happen to him is that he himself dies so he can be with his family again. He can be with his friends again for overall happiness. So I don't know the state of the episodes. We only got 2 or 3 episodes left, but this one weighs so heavy on me. I think this is definitely the biggest point of the series. So now we just have to see how everything comes to a head. Now with Nero knowing that Angelo took out his friend, that kind of eases the suspicion on him, makes it a little bit easier for him to accomplish his task, because he also points out that he could have killed Nero anytime he wanted. We've seen that many times. It's killing Vincent that he's going to need Gonzo's help with. So maybe that'll be one more loose end. I think he's probably going to end up killing Gonzo at this point too. He's going to have to. But we'll just have to see where that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. How you feel about Corteo making his sacrifice. You think he should have stayed behind, or you think he did the right thing? Definitely let me know. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on in this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. Be sure to catch your boy tomorrow for that live reaction to the finale of ReZero. We're going to get it in live about 10:30, 11-ish Pacific Standard Time. You know how I do it by now. So I can't wait to see you guys then. And on that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.